Tonight on To The Point, wildfire payouts. The new details tonight in the governor's plan as debate grows ahead of a major deadline this week. Plus the race for California's next governor. The candidates' very different approaches heading into November. Canada introduces new tariffs on American goods. The trade war heating up tonight. And remembering music icon Dolly Parton.
We could never have done this project without Dolly's Imagination Library.
Tonight, how her legacy will live on in our communities. We start tonight with the governor's race. One candidate is making a lot of noise, the other not so much. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. Republican Steve Hilton has been up and down the state heading into the fall election, while Democrat Javier Becerra is taking a much different approach. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen joins us to break down the strategy behind both campaigns.
Well, Alex, right now, the latest polling in this race from UC Berkeley shows Becerra leading Hilton by nearly 20 points. It comes as media access to Javier Becerra has been a challenge, something we have experienced firsthand here at ABC 10. Steve Hilton, on the other hand, has been much more accessible. Political strategists tell me this may be by design.
If Javier Becerra went on vacation to the Bahamas between now and November 3rd, he's going to be the next governor of California.
Gary South is a longtime Democratic strategist. He's worked on Governor Gavin Newsom and Gray Davis's campaigns. South believes Javier Becerra will win this November regardless of strategy, saying Becerra laying low could be the best option right now.
Candidates are naturally risk averse. I mean, they don't want to make mistakes. They don't want to say something that gets hung around their neck.
Since the June primary, Becerra has held and attended minimal public appearances compared to his opponent, Republican Steve Hilton. In early August, Becerra quietly left in the middle of a press conference outside the Capitol and did not stop to talk to media. ABC 10's State Matters reporter Jenny Huh was able to get a short comment from Becerra if he'd accept the debate challenge from Hilton.
Yeah, we'll be doing lots of debates as a
So you're accepting the challenge by your opponent?
It's still unclear if or when this debate will happen. Democratic strategist Michael Trujillo has worked on former LA Mayor Antonio Villarosa's campaign and Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. He believes being a frontrunner is new territory for Becerra.
He's always been a second chair and letting someone else make the news, whether that be the president or the governor or the Speaker of the House. And so this is a little unusual for him, and he's only had 4 months to get used to this new dynamic. My hope and prayers are that, once Labor Day comes, we start seeing that tortoise drinking more Gatorade.
While it's to be seen how Becerra spends his time until November, the California Republican Party says Hilton's campaign will continue its momentum, eager to break the Democratic streak.
They're reaching out to every corner of their community. They're campaigning on a better California, Everybody knows that our state's headed in the wrong direction. And that's because we have a one-party rule.
In a phone call, Hilton tells ABC 10, quote, "This is exactly the kind of arrogant behavior you expect after 16 years of one-party rule," adding that Becerra is taking voters for granted, believing he can become governor without campaigning. A spokesperson for Javier Becerra tells ABC 10 that in the coming weeks, Secretary Becerra will be traveling up and down the state to talk solutions around challenges like cost of living, housing, and health care. And we also spoke with the California Democratic Party today. They tell us the party is proud to endorse Becerra, and they will work hard to help elect him as the next governor, Alex.
All right, Janie, thank you. Let's take a live look over downtown Sacramento tonight. State lawmakers have just days to go to pass legislation. Tonight, all eyes are on wildfire payouts. Now, fire survivors rallied at the Capitol just this morning. And tonight, there are more new details on Governor Newsom's plan to change the payout process when it comes to fires caused by utility companies. ABC 10 State Matters political reporter Jenny Huh has the latest from the state capitol.
With less than a week left in this legislative session, there's still no bill language on a proposal. The only details we have is from the governor himself. But just this afternoon, Senate sources close to negotiations gave us a look at what Senate Democrats may be proposing. This is the first time we're getting a look at what lawmakers may be proposing. Now, Governor Newsom's proposal has multiple parts. First, it seeks to cap how much some groups, insurance companies, attorneys, and hedge funds can recover from the state's current pot of wildfire recovery money. Through a process known as subrogation, insurers can recover the money they've paid to victims from the third party responsible, the utilities. Newsom wants to end that subrogation. The insurance industry warns that would raise the cost of insurance in the state.
Biggest concern is much higher insurance rates for people who live in high fire areas. That reimbursement they get back from the utility that caused the fire helps keep all of our insurance rates lower.
Wildfire survivors and advocates have criticized that part of the proposal as a bailout for utilities, saying it limits their liability. On the other hand, Senate sources close to negotiations tell me their proposal seeks to continue subrogation and maintain stability of the state insurance market. Another point of contention, a new limit by the governor on what damages qualify for compensation. Newsom says those not present or harmed in the fire perimeter, meaning the zone of danger, will not be compensated for non-economic damages like emotional or mental trauma. But Senator Sasha Renee Perez, who represents LA fire victims, says that's concerning.
These corporations are the ones that are causing these fires. They need to be held accountable. Regardless of what your experience may have been, I believe if you were directly impacted, that you should be able to recover non-economic damages. And that is a huge, huge priority to me, especially after hearing so many victim stories and the trauma that people go through.
Both proposals also discuss capping the profit of CEOs of utilities that have caused these fires and also holding shareholders more accountable. Again, the legislative session wraps up on Monday, but Newsom can call legislators back for a special session. That is something he has not ruled out. At the state capitol, Jenny Huh, ABC 10.
New tonight, plans for a micro community of tiny homes in Natomas are no longer moving forward. That's according to City Council member Lisa Kaplan. The community was planned at Arena Boulevard and El Centro Road. Kaplan tells ABC 10 the city manager is now directing staff to permanently halt the project over what Kaplan called a non-transparent process that ignored neighborhood safeguards, lacked proper and structural standards, and risked millions in public funds. We will have the latest on what could come next, coming up at Late News tonight at 11. New details in the trade war with Canada. It is escalating once again. The Canadians announcing retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. The new tariffs range from 15% to 50% on more than 700 American goods. Hardest hit will be U.S. steel and aluminum at 50%. Just last week, President Trump's newest 50% tariff on Canadian paper, lumber, alcohol, and dairy products went into effect after trade talks failed.
He's treating us worse than communist China. And I just want to make sure that we have a fair deal for both sides, because right now it's hurting American workers and it's hurting Canadian workers.
Canada's new tariffs are set to go into effect September 8th. It's still not clear what the Trump administration might do in response. Still ahead on To The Point, honoring Dolly Parton, how the music icon's legacy will live on here in Northern California. And finally, some good news tonight near Reno, why concerns over the devastating Hawk Fire are easing just a little tonight.
And the three things I'm tracking: hot days for now. We've got some active tropics, which will have impacts here at home by the end of the week. But maybe the biggest thing, September starts cooler. I've got a full look at the forecast after the break.
But first, another headlines tonight. Shocking new video shows the moment an Amazon worker violently knocked a 71-year-old man to the ground at an Elk Grove gas station. It happened back in March, and the man is now suing Amazon and the worker. Elk Grove police say the worker became upset because he had intended to park in the same stall as the man. He faces several charges, including felony elder abuse, and is no longer allowed to contract with Amazon. Newly released video appears to show a San Francisco train operator asleep just before a collision. Take a look. The train crashed into another train ahead of it. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The San Francisco MTA determined the crash was caused by operator fatigue, but says it is still investigating. And this new air taxi could soon take flight in Los Angeles. The company, Archer Aviation, hopes to use this electric aircraft during the 2028 Olympics. It carries 4 passengers, has a 100-mile range, and is awaiting FAA approval. Proposed stops include SoFi Stadium, USC, and Hollywood Burbank Airport. Welcome back in. We are continuing to track the Hawk Fire tonight. It continues to burn just north of Reno. Nearly 50 homes and a commercial building were destroyed. More were damaged. The good news, though, is that the evacuation zone for the Hawk Fire was downgraded. Just over 9,000 people are finally now being allowed to return home, but still 5,000 remain under an evacuation order. Police say that they are still working to determine who started this fire. Back here in Sacramento, a little warm again here today, very dry, but seasonal?
Seasonal
yeah.
heat. I mean, you'd expect some mid to upper 90s in August. Maybe not as many days in August with temperatures like this that we've had, but nonetheless, this is definitely not that unusual for the time of year. 95 in Sacramento today, 97 in Stockton, 97 down in Modesto, 91 Placerville, 82 in Truckee, 81 in South Lake Tahoe. Those 80s near Tahoe just a couple degrees warmer than normal, but we were running about 3 to 4 degrees warmer than normal across the valley this afternoon. It's pretty similar to yesterday, and we'll have another couple days in the 90s before we'll finally start to cool back down towards seasonal, then below that. 91 right now in Sacramento, 93 in Stockton, 94 Modesto, 77 in Truckee and Tahoe. Not a lot of onshore wind, just 15 miles per hour or so out through the Delta, about 10 miles per hour right now in Sacramento, and 10 to 15 miles per hour down through the San Joaquin Valley. Looking towards the state capitol and downtown, 91 degrees in the capital city right now, and temperatures will be in the 80s through about 8, 9 o'clock, then 70s from 10 p.m. just past midnight. Then as we get deep into the overnight or very early in the morning, depending on how you want to look at it, we'll finally drop into the 60s. About 62 in Sacramento, 63 Stockton, 68 in Modesto, 68 in Jackson, 70 in Auburn, 51 in Tahoe, and 50 in Truckee to start Wednesday morning. Wednesday afternoon, a bit warmer than today, hot and sunny. I've got 97 in Sacramento, 99 Stockton, about 100 down in Modesto, 99 in Sonora and Angels Camp, and once again low to mid 80s in the high country. Lots of tropical activity, not moving towards California. It's going to steer out to the west, but the positioning of this high pressure is actually going to pull in some of that tropical moisture by the time we get towards Friday. It's going to lead to a chance for some showers up near Tahoe on Friday. And as we go into the beginning of September here, high pressure to the east, high pressure to the west, and in between some cooler air, maybe a chance for some showers once again in the high country. That's for the beginning of September. That's into next week. But over the next 5 days as we into the month of August, about 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch of rain possible in the high country. Most of that happening on Friday, where we see some clouds, chance of rain, some cooler temperatures in the foothills and in the high country. Here in the valley, we stay dry, increasing clouds on Friday. Temps in the upper 90s the next couple days. By the weekend, some 80s and low 90s. And by next week, some low to mid 80s. Alex.
All right, Brendan, thank you. Right after the break, a look at El Nino concerns, what the latest prediction could mean for California and other parts of the world, and honoring Dolly Parton, the music icon, changing the industry and leaving a lasting legacy. All right, you are taking a live look tonight in Tennessee. Mourners are gathering to honor Dolly Parton after the country music icon passed away at the age of 80, This is now the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You can see several people lined up outside there. And this is Dolly Parton's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame today. Dolly Parton wrote more than 3,000 songs over a career spanning more than 50 years. She was the third most nominated woman in Grammy history, winning 10 of them. Today, flags were also lowered at the White House. President Trump says that he has ordered U.S. flags to be lowered for 1 week in Dolly Parton's honor. In recent months, Parton announced that she was suffering from health challenges and postponed concerts in Las Vegas. Tonight, we learned that she passed away after a brief battle with cancer. Now, we are looking at the local impact that she had on our communities here in Northern California. But first, Alex Stone has a look back on her career.
Dolly Parton was the queen of country music, a legend from the songs she wrote and performed like 9 to 5. Her music was bigger than life. The hair, those rhinestones, and that voice.
Amen, Dolly Parton.
I know.
Dolly Parton spoke about her childhood often, growing up in Tennessee in a one-room mountain cabin, one of 12 children. Her unmistakable voice catapulting her to stardom with songs like Jolene.
Jolene, 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 Jolene.
And I Will Always Love You, which was #1 on the charts in 1974. That song later covered in 1992 by Whitney Houston and becoming an even bigger hit at the top of the charts for 14 weeks. Parton would also appear in movies, including the 1980 comedy hit 9 to 5 opposite Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. Parton ventured into the theme park business with her Dollywood and just this summer opened a gas station and travel center in Cornersville, Tennessee called Dolly's Tennessean Travel Stop. Parton was also known around the world for her philanthropy, giving large contributions to organizations in times of need. She supported education by providing scholarships and financial aid, and she donated close to 308 million books to children. In recent months, Parton announced she was suffering from health challenges and would postpone concerts in Las Vegas. Last year, her husband of nearly 58 years died. Parton telling ABC's Robin Roberts this in 2019.
I said that I'm a workhorse that looks like a show horse. I always make a joke and say that I hope to die on stage in the middle of a song, hopefully one I've written.
So many people are reacting tonight, including Jane Fonda, who posted on Instagram in part, quote, "I know that millions are mourning, and I want to say this. More than anyone I've ever known, Dolly will always be with us because she was so present, so powerful, so generous." Now, some of Parton's libraries have made a big difference in our communities here. ABC 10's Gabriel Porras has a closer look at how her generosity and also how her music will be very missed.
That grief is hitting people across the globe, and right here will soon be an example of it. Federal buildings like this post office here in Lodi ordered to fly flags at half staff for a week to mourn the death of Dolly Parton. It will be a visual reminder of the sadness that so many fans are feeling. In San Joaquin County Tuesday, the news stopped people in their tracks.
We were listening to somebody talking about it, but we just thought they were talking about our music.
It's a shock. It was a shock to hear about that.
Shocked and saddened, around noon, fans of country music legend Dolly Parton learned she died.
I was talking to my husband on the phone and he said, "Did you hear that Dolly Parton died?" And I was like, "Oh my God, what?" And I couldn't believe he was telling me now while I'm at work, because all I can think about is her, and she's such an icon.
An icon with a local legacy.
We could never have done this project without Dolly's Imagination Library.
In the past 15 years, the Icons nonprofit putting more than 1 million books into thousands of San Joaquin County homes.
There's a message from Dolly in the back.
Read to Me Stockton is the state's second largest affiliate of Dolly Parton's nonprofit Imagination Library.
Right now in San Joaquin County, we're sending out over 15,500 books to children every single month. Without Dolly's Imagination Library, I'm not sure we would have been as successful as we have been, because she had everything in place. We're all very sad because she was such an inspiration. The photo of me and Dolly.
Read to Me Stockton president and former Stockton mayor Ann Johnston is still inspired.
And I did get to meet her when we first started our project. It was the most amazing moment. I just loved it, and I still think of that moment. She held up our brochures and made us feel like we were the most special people in the world.
Her death stopped fans in their tracks, but Dolly Parton's legacy continues to move forward.
She is someone that I truly loved, and I can't believe it.
In their statement announcing her death, Dolly Parton's family asked people to donate to the Imagination Library. The president of Read to Me Stockton says that she hopes an increase in donations will help keep on Dolly's legacy and help families here in Northern California. In Lodi, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
Our coverage of Dolly Parton's passing does not end here. You can watch Dolly Parton, an American original, airing on ABC 10 tonight at 10 p.m. We also have so much more coverage on Dolly Parton's death on our free TV streaming app. We're back after this. As we inch closer to winter, confidence is growing for a very strong El Nino later this year. The ABC 10 Weather Impact Team is tracking all of it, of course. Here's ABC 10's Peter Warner with some of what you can expect in this special that is streaming right now on our ABC 10 app.
There is growing concern as the likelihood of a strong to very strong El Nino will be in place later this year. Its impacts can be felt across the globe. During a strong El Nino event, warmer than normal ocean water near the equator changes the jet stream, shifting storm tracks and altering weather patterns thousands of miles away. That can bring heavier rain and flooding to parts of the southern United States and parts of South America. While places like Australia, Indonesia, and southern Africa often see hotter, drier conditions that can increase wildfire risk. A strong El Nino impacts fisheries, agriculture, and coral reefs, making it one of the most important climate patterns meteorologists monitor. It typically leads to a large increase in global temperatures as well. For example, the strongest El Nino on record, the 1997-98 El Nino, increased global temperatures by 1.5 degrees Celsius.
Again, more of that special is streaming on our ABC 10 app if you do want to check it out. As always, thank you so much for watching, for always inviting us into your home. Hope you take a little bit of time today to relax, reflect, think about the day, what you want to do for tomorrow, and take a little bit of extra time to hug your loved ones. I'll see you back here on Wednesday. Have a great night.